KOK Media, everyday's inspiration.
Scars of abuse.
Between the age 11 and 14 years, I attempted suicide many times.
A story featuring AKWABI, who shares his struggles during his early teen life.
Kwa sababu wakati ataona difference between your children, you give them the first priority, na hao watoto umempa the second priority, huyu mtoto ataanza feel kama is not part of the family.
A story about relatives who neglect the children of their deceased family members.
Mtoto huyu anapoingia depression, you may not understand. Utaona ya kwamba amenyamaza kimya, na anaponyamaza kimya hatimaye uamuzi wa mwisho unakuwa ni kujitoa.
A story about depression, the silent killer. If you want to know what it is like to survive hell and still come out brighter than the sun, just look into the eyes of a child who has survived intense damage and refused to allow it to destroy their softness. In Kenya, it is estimated that approximately 3.6 million children are orphaned. This leaves them even more vulnerable to social injustices. Mental illness is the main reason why most people today commit suicide. According to Childline, an ungovernmental organization that runs a child abuse helpline, cases of child abuse in Kenya have risen from 1,589 cases in 2011 to over 3,000 cases in 2019. According to statistics, 13.1% of children aged below 14 in Kenya live without parental care, with 38% of orphans ending up in charity institutions. There were 2.4 million orphans in Kenya as of 2010, a figure that has risen to over 3.6 million in the recent years. The Kenya Social Protection Report 2016 reported 303 cases of sexual abuse and 376 cases of physical abuse. In addition, the Department of Children's Services reported 78 cases of child labor, 16 cases of child trafficking, 2 cases of prostitution among children, 82 cases of early marriages, 44 cases of emotional abuse, and 3 cases of female genital mutilation. A large portion of the abuse, 97% to be specific, is perpetrated by people the victims trust, such as their guardians, siblings, teachers, or the clergy. It is an undeniable fact that the presence of a mother and father figure plays an important role in a child's development process. The contribution of both parents to the child's emotional and psychological development is irreplaceable.
My father died when I was just 9 years. I was the first born in the family.
After then, I had to go and stay with my relatives because my mother was just a housewife, and it was so hard for her to be able to place us, to give us all that we needed, especially with Nairobi life, which is so expensive. To the other side, actually, where I went to stay, life was not that easy. I think they also didn't understand the kind of child I was. So many things I wanted to do, how free I wanted to be. I did no longer have the parents that raised me up to where I was. So between age 11 and 14 years, I attempted suicide many times. Maybe one because I felt like since it's me who was doing all the chores in the house, if it's fetching water, washing things, and washing clothes, everything, this was tough for me as compared to life I can come from. And like any other child, you could feel like you are a bit, you're just different. You feel like this just part of it. And plus that feeling, because after my dad passed on, I think I was supposed to go through a counseling for me to understand death is reality and people can die.
Kuishi na huyu mtoto is like a gift. Kwanza is like amekuletea baraka nyumbani kwako. Give him the first love. Huyu mtoto ilikuwa si wako kwa umemjua before. Try to understand huyu mtoto. Maybe ana problem, challenges anapitia. The way you will solve the challenge ya wale watoto wako, ndio the same way solve wake. And from there, he is going to be ready to express. Yeye pia ajitokeze, akui free na mjue yeye ni nani.
First time what I had nilikuwa nimetumwa to buy paraffin. So I bought mafuta ya 90 bob and the 10 shillings I used it to buy a rope. The rope was good and I felt like, yeah, this will do the purpose. So I went home. There was a certain forest around and nikafunga pale juu because it was journey around 5-6 after school, and I went to do my normal chores. I was of course expecting if they trigger me that day nitatoka mbio na niende nijimalize hiyo time. So I finished everything I had. I washed utensils, I went for fetch water, I came, cooked supper, and while they were eating I was hesitating. Niwaambie naenda kujiua, niwaambie bye, niwaambie, because I usually hear when somebody wants to commit suicide, at times wanasema oh bye. So I wanted to do something that will make them at least notice that I'm going or something kama hiyo. So it was hard for me to say. So I just left. Went to that tree, I climbed up so to check for the rope. The rope was not there. I felt so sad because that was my day. I really wanted that day at least. I feel what I wanted to feel. So after that, nikatafuta hiyo kamba. Few days, I saw a certain mbuzi ikipita kama imefungwa hiyo kamba.
If this child, this kid, has been denied the right to live as a human being, at the end of the day, he will resort into depression and automatically he or she commits suicide. So that is a defense mechanism which will imbibe into his or her mind, and then utapata amejitia kifaa. Committing suicide is the serious case when it comes to defense mechanism of the body. Because anaona anapojitia kitanzi atatulia, kwa hivyo atatulia kabisa. Na sasa hapa hatasumbuliwa. When I'm gone, then I'll do away with all these sorrows, with all these effects of the world that are following me. Hii mambo yote mabaya ambayo yananikumba kila wakati.
Every time I attempted suicide, I had a dream that I'm fighting with my father. So, and my father wanted to kill me, but I could protect myself and he could ask me. But I thought, nilikuwa nataka kujua, nilikuwa nataka kukufa. Siwacha nikuwe. The second time was this day, which I felt so sad because I had gone through so much. Was punished so much. Came home, I took the knife and put it under my bed. Then I continued doing every other thing. Apparently this day my aunt came late at around 9 and they came with meat, and that was the only knife that could cut her meat. So they asked me where the knife was. I lied, but the more I continued lying, the more I was being given pressure. So it reached a point I felt like, okay, fine, let me just get the knife where it was. So I got the knife, gave out. At night when we were sleeping, I wanted to take that knife, then nijirarue tumbo, when nobody can be able to help me. Life was hard. I didn't have textbooks, I didn't have exercise books. I was that bright child actually. Nilikuwa top 3 every time. I could perform well. At times I was even number 1. So, but I could feel like I'm not getting the support I needed. Also, that encouragement, somebody just to tell me, you see what, you can make it. You see what, you can go far. So at times I felt like my future is scrambled up. So again I was sent mafuta taa kama kawaida ya kuweka kwa stove. I bought mafuta ya 90 shillings. Then the 10 shillings I bought rat and rat, the poison to kill rats. Nikaeka kwa bag because I was taking my time just to plan how I'll take it. Nikaeka kwa bag. When I went to school, nilikuwa nimenunua kwa duka. As we were playing games, I was the head boy of that school actually. So the head girl, nilikuwa nimemuomba kalamu. You see, I didn't have a pen. So akakuja kuniomba kuchukua kalamu kutoka kwangu kama nacheza games. Kaambia enda uangalie kwa bag, hapo kando nimeweka. So she went. When she arrived there, I think she got the rat and rat. So kidogo mimi nikasikia naitwa kwa headmaster. It was common. Remember, I was the head boy. So head boy kuitwa na headmaster, it's not a big deal. So I went to the office of the headmaster. Kufika hivi nikapata senior teacher, the deputy and the principal wamekaa pale. On the table kuna hiyo rat and rat, and they asked me if I knew about it. I could not deny, could not do anything. I just cried. And they wanted to go and call my parents, but I told them if they dare call my parents, then I'll commit suicide. But if they don't tell anybody about this story, I will stop. So it was like a deal. Actually, I stopped, and I felt like I have a different purpose in life. From then, I started now trying even to read about anything to do with encouragement. Now, my life ended up changing. I've been having this feeling that instead of people reading my eulogy, let them be able to hear my situation, to hear my story. And that is the campaign and what I've been trying to advocate to other people. Along the way, as I lived, life has not been that easy still, but I learned how to live on my own. I learned how to survive. I learned how to get friends and how to work with friends and how to work within problems, how to get something good out of a problem, out of a situation. A lot of decisions I was making, I was not sure what I was doing, but I relied on praying because that's what my father told me, to always pray. Though by that time, the only prayer I knew is praying for food. So at some point I could just pray for food and sleep and think that yes, God has heard my prayers. Later on, yes, before actually I parted with my mother, she told me how to pray. So eventually I could pray even if it's totally nothing I'm getting back. I knew just pray and leave everything the way it is.